Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Sonia and you're watching my DIY channel. Today I am sharing my very first video for these DIY home reno things that I will be doing in my house during my main floor renovations, and a few odds and ends that I am doing myself. I wanted to share them with you and you guys asked for it as well. So for this first video I will be showing you how to install a stick-on tile for a backsplash in my laundry room. I have received this beautiful tile from Komami. You can check out komami.com for all the different tiles that they have there. I had chosen this pattern because I thought my laundry room needed some spunk, and this tile just gave it that right amount. I have received this from them. They kindly sent me enough to complete this room. So I will have the link to their website down below if you want to check them out. So these tiles have the feel of a real tile on the top. They matched up perfectly with the patterns. They were fairly easy to cut. I just used an X-Acto knife and a cutting board to do so, and a ruler. You do have to watch the pattern, the way it goes and the way you're cutting, so you don't waste too many of them by cutting the wrong side. I do want to say that you also want to make sure that you know exactly your cut is right and you had matched it perfectly before you take the backing off and stick it on, because they are very sticky and they will rip your drywall off, which is what you want, but not if you make a mistake. So the supplies that you're going to be needing are an X-Acto knife, a ruler. I have two different ones, and then a little handy tools that came with the tiles, which is the little scrubbery thing. It has felt on one end and a plasticky side on the other. You also want to make sure that your wall is completely free of dust or dirt. If you have to degrease it, make sure you do that, because you want it to be completely clean. And then if you are washing your wall, you want to make sure that it's 100% dry, so that way the adhesive actually works. These tiles are waterproof, or water resistant I should say, and then they are easily wipeable as well. But if your backing is wet, they aren't gonna stick very well. That's just how it is with anybody. And I also want to say that I have worked with Dollarama, or the tiles that had come from Dollarama before, and these are, it's a much better quality than that. So when I wanted to start off in a corner and work my way out. So I am just making sure that I cut my corner right using a ruler, and you want to make sure you cut the straight line, because you want your tile to be straight. Even though maybe the wall is not perfectly squared, you want your tile to be straight. So just take your time when cutting. It will save you tiles and save you time in the long run. So to start in a corner, I have to cut two straight lines because I'm going under the cabinet. And like I said, I'm using a ruler and a cutting mat to do that, simply because I did not want to cut my washing machine. Now, I did take the top film off, which is just a clear plastic cover for this first one. I did not do it for any other time, because if you are using your smoothing tool, it's harder to smooth it out if that film is off, just because of the texture of the tile. So keep it on. It makes the smoothing process a lot easier. So for this corner, I didn't need to make another cut for the one underneath it, but that one only had the side cut, not the top cut. And then the bottom, it didn't really matter because I was having a countertop going right up against it. And then moving forward, all the ones underneath, directly underneath the cabinet, just needed to have that straight cut, so they fit perfectly underneath if your cabinet is hung up perfectly as well. So just keep that in mind. If things aren't squared, if things aren't straight, no matter how straight your tile is cut or going on, you might have that little gap. It's just the way it is. This is the same way with ceramic tiles or anything that you are installing. If things aren't square, you might have to work with little gaps. I did end up filling some gaps with a little bit of a white kitchen and bath caulking, and that seemed to have worked well just to cover up the backing. Now, another way that I could have saved myself some cover-ups is if I went ahead and painted that blue wall with the green wall that I was the October mist that I painted the rest of my room with, because it was so similar to the color of the grout. That would have been perfect. I probably would have not had to do anything else, but the gaps were so tiny that I pretty much was the only one that could see them because I knew that they were there. If you just came in and was looking for them, you would not be able to find them. There weren't, like I said, there weren't gaps between the tiles fitting with the patterns. They fit perfectly, but just around the corners and the bottom of the cabinet, I did struggle a little bit because something wasn't straight there. But like I said, visually, it was only visible to me. So now we have reached our first outlet, and this, I have to say, was probably the hardest thing about installing these styles, but it wasn't all that hard to do. What I suggest is measure twice, cut once. So make sure your measurements are exactly the way you want them to be to go around this outlet. I have seen people gluing the tile on and then just cutting out around the outlet, but I was afraid that I was going to rip off the drywall around there. So I had put a tile up against it, kind of measured out where the cut should be, and then I took pretty much the tile and just flipped it around and cut another one so that one fit onto the other side of the outlet. And this had worked for me, leaving just a little tiny gap at the bottom, which I was okay with. But I think I did a pretty good job with cutting this out to go around the outlet. Now I just want to mention that all the pieces that you cut off or to get straight lines and things like that, you want to keep them because you will always find a way to fill them in. I had to cut 2 tiles to get this done, and then one, and I already had from the cuts that I made previously. So save all your pieces because you never know when you might need them again. Now, another way that you can do your cuts, and I've seen people do this on YouTube, is glue your tile, stick your tile onto the wall, and then bend it right around the trim, and then make a cut. This had worked really well on this side. However, I wouldn't even attempt to try to do it in underneath the cabinet, just because I had the washing machines there and it was too hard to reach. But I was able to get right into this little corner and do this to make sure that it is straight and right up against the trim, and it worked well. Like I said, just give yourself the room to do this. This whole process took about 2 hours to do, and I can't tell you how pleased I am with the way this turned out. I absolutely love it. I think it added so much to this laundry room, and it was easy to do that I could do it myself with minimal tools. And I just wanted to show you a sneak peek into my laundry room. I do have a full before and after, and a full process of how I made over this whole laundry room from countertop to wall and all that stuff on my home channel. So make sure you check that out. It's Domestic Diva Home, and I also go over where things came from and all that stuff. But for this video, I just wanted to showcase the tile and show you how beautifully it looks in my new space. I hope you had enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out komami.com website for all the different tiles that they sell there, and like I said, I chose this one, but they have many more to choose from. I hope you had enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Share it with a friend who you might think would love this as well. Make sure you are subscribed and your notification bell is on so you don't miss out any of my future home reno DIYs that I will be doing with you. I have so much coming your way and I can't wait to share it all with you. So until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and thank you all so much for watching.